Howdy y'all, welcome to Nerd Studio. This is going to be a follow-up video on the FNS 9. I wanted to point out some really cool swag I'm wearing. The guys at Rock City Guns here in Roxborough, North Carolina helped me get my hands on this FNS and the M&P 9C that I've been doing these videos in tandem, and so I just want to give them a plug because in the process I got free t-shirts. I think I've mentioned that before, but here it is. Great logo on the back, if you can see that. But if you're in Roxborough, North Carolina, or anywhere in that area, you should go check out Rock City Guns because, you know, Rick's cool and great prices, great service. Okay, there's your advertising moment. Really, he's not paying me, so it's just I dug the gun shop. Stop on by if you're close. Okay, FNS 9. About 350 rounds through it. At first, I was using an ammo that actually no gun I was shooting that day was eating that ammo correctly. So you're going to see probably me pointing out in the first video some issues with it. That was the ammo, pure and simple. What you're seeing me shoot in this video today, I shot 115 grain. This is all target ammo, 115 grain from Herstal. It's brass cased ammunition, no malfunctions. I shot Remington UMC, show that down there too. Also, this was also 115 grain, and some Aguila, Magilla Gorilla, whatever this brand is. Shot about 50 rounds of that. 124 grain, and you know, it shot everything I stuck in it, so no problems with the gun. Shot the ammunition just fine. So carry comfort. This is the Fox holster I'm using. I'll probably go ahead and clip in almost as a gag reel, but the next day I went out, the second round of shooting I did with this gun, I took the wrong holster out because the only thing you really get to absolutely tell the difference on these holsters is they write right here on the back what gun it's for. And I've got one holster, and I think it's the holster for my M&P Shield, where that's worn off already, and wasn't paying attention, grabbed the wrong holster. So I'm down there trying to draw the gun, and I actually pulled the holster right off my hip. I'll probably stick it in there because I was just an idiot that day. I went back out with the right holster, and got to say that it carries well. The draw feels natural, at least for as much as I've practiced drawing my gun. I'm trying to do that more, and this gun really does that well for me. I don't know if it's going to do it well for you, but you know, if you're a novice shooter and you know, an atypical body type, meaning roundish, if you have my experience, you're going to have a really smooth experience in pulling this gun out and shooting it. I don't get any chub rub. The muffin top is safe. Even though it has a fairly aggressive grip, There's really no problem. Shirt tucked, untucked. If you're sitting wrong, you get a little bit of that grip on you, but it conceals well. I had my wife look at it and sort of all angles and see if I was printing. With you gotta wear loose shirts and stuff. Nobody's wearing, what are the skin tight runner stuff while they're carrying concealed. So I'm guessing, I don't know, maybe you're a skin tight runner wearing guy and you can argue with me there, but that's the story. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the trigger. So keep in mind, I'm a novice. My experience with striker fired guns, what I've got, 3 or 4 of them, and my first M&P that I owned, my M&P 40, the trigger just threw me, and so we did the trigger job, put a target trigger in it, and it's really nice. This trigger, let me go ahead and, so the gun's clear. This trigger, it's gritty. And the take-up is noticeable. You feel it. Now, there's a bunch of arguments out there. Positive reset, and there's professional shooters who trigger slap and do well. I don't know about any of that. Here's what I think from a novice perspective. If you pay attention to it and you're dry firing the gun, and you'll notice that trigger's gritty. You feel the take up, and if you were to go shoot it in a gun, or go pull the trigger, shoot it in a gun store, boy, that would be bad. If you were to go into a gun store and pull that trigger, you might say, and another caveat, it could just be this example, although I did a little searching and it seems to be a little more common than just my gun. You would feel it if you were to go into a gun store and go, I think I'm going to pull the trigger on that and see what it's like. But once I start actually trying to engage the gun, actually pull it from my hip, point it, get it on target, shoot it for what this gun is intended to be shot for, it's not a target gun. Once I get to that point, I don't even notice the trigger. The one thing I am starting to sort of be aware of is that positive reset. I find myself more and more and faster listening and feeling for that positive reset, more feeling for it. And this gun has that in spades. You can feel that reset. Let me just clear it again. So, it's very positive. Now, I'm no Jerry Michalek, or I don't know, pick your favorite guy that gets up there and goes at some breakneck speed with their guns and hits every round. And I'm certainly not subscribing to a school of thought here. I'm subscribing to the school of nerd, which is, if I notice it, great. If it helps me, great. And I think it's starting to with this gun. So I think that's an asset. I think that trigger grittiness is going to break in. If I look at the parts, it seems to be, probably plastic in there that's going to wear, some of the polymer parts. But to be honest, guys, I shoot the thing just as well as I shoot anything else. So it's only an issue when I think about it. The sights. Let me see if I can. This is really hard for me to do. I don't know if that does anything for you, but this is the first gun I've ever had where I could pull it up, fire repeated rounds, and I got that sense that the front sight was the size of a tennis ball. I've heard other people talk about it, and I know this translates to other sports and other activities in life where you sort of get into that zone. I don't know if it's the sights on the gun or my skills improving or what, but it was really the first gun where I had that experience, and that was just, a week or so ago. And I had a couple of runs where, I'm firing as fast as my trigger discipline will allow me to, and hitting most of the shots. And it's not very fast. I've got a long way to go to learn to get the trigger right, but I look at the front sight and it would come right back on target and be as big as a tennis ball in my head. And so that's something. I think part of that is just the quality of the FN product, and I think they're very good sights. Now, let me say, these are not snag free, boys and girls. I caught on my clothes right there on the back sight. So that's something to consider. I don't think I would switch the sights out on this gun. I don't, other than that snag potential. And really that was me wearing a pullover with pockets, and I caught on the pocket coming by. I think, part of the responsibility, it seems to me, of carrying one of these on your hip is to dress appropriately to make sure that, you don't have those problems. And thankfully I have the ability to get enough practice to see where I'm going to screw that up. And some of this is body related. I'm a round guy, and so I've got this chub that hangs out that I got to get the gun around. And I think that's all part of me learning to do this safely, appropriately, and just trying it out. So maybe you got another opinion out there. Maybe that's just completely unacceptable. And post it. Let's hear from you. I've heard of guys talking about being able to use the front sight to rack the slide if your left hand is disabled. I don't see how you could do that with this gun. That front sight, while it's apt to catch on clothing, I don't think it's going to actually catch on my belt enough to rack the slide. To me, it's such an obscure idea that I would, I'm more likely to win the lottery than I am to have to draw my gun in self-defense. So the chances then that I'm going to get in a situation where my left hand is disabled and have to rack the slide, just for practical purposes, not a big deal. If you're training for that stuff and that's what you're interested in, by all means, knock points down on this gun for the back sight not doing what you want it to do, because it probably doesn't. Maybe it does. I don't know. Point that out too. That's pretty much it on the sights. I like them. So let's talk a little bit about how this gun feels in the hand. If you watched any of my videos, I have small doll hands, I call them, and I don't have great hand strength. I just don't. I never really have. I don't work with my hands. I'm a computer nerd. I type all day long, so. It's just a practical thing. I've got to have a gun that fits comfortably in my hand and that I can control appropriately, and this gun does it. It feels good in my hand. I feel like I've got a grip on it that feels confident, and I don't feel like I need to put the death grip on the gun to control it. And I find that when I put the death grip on the gun, I pull my shots. So the more comfortable that feels in the hand, the better I shoot it. And I think the more I can concentrate on my trigger control and my sight alignment and all the basics, because I don't feel the need to put the death grip on. So I felt the same way about the FNS. It just feels great in the hand. Just the design of the gun. So there you go. That's how it feels for doll hands. Last thing I want to talk about is the recoil. Somebody asked me, one of the videos got posted on an FN board, which whoever did that, hey, thanks, I appreciate it. It's fun to go out and see my video just on some random board somewhere. And one of the guys asked about the felt recoil compared to the FNS, and it's about the same. The guns are so similar, you know, from a feel perspective for somebody, again, with my hands and my skill set. I can't tell the difference really. For the number of guns that I've shot, handguns that I've shot, this really, for me, is really easy to control the recoil. I can get back on target much faster with this gun than any other gun I own. The other ammunition, I've ran about another 100 rounds of Freedom munition. I got some of this in the other day. It's 124 grain target ammo from Freedom Munitions. I've talked about it before. Great buy. These are reloads, but you know, go up to their site and read about their reloads. It's high quality stuff. It shoots like any other factory ammo. Their process is factory process. I've got complete trust in that ammunition. It's good stuff. Their newly manufactured ammo has become my carry ammo because it just has all of the specs that anything else has that I've been able to read. If somebody has some experience of actually shooting into a gel block with one of these and wants to talk about, you know, the downside to something like Freedom Munitions, please do that. My experience is purely shooting at targets with it. It feels the same. It's reliable. You know, I'm not a ballistics expert. I'd like to do that gel block thing just to see it, but the stuff looks really expensive, and the process of doing it it's just not my thing. I'm a novice, not a ballistics expert. Heck, I can't even say it. So it just would be fun to do, I think. So anyway, I'm a fan of Freedom Munitions. I did go by the Dixie Knife and Guns show, Gun and Knife show, Knife and Gun show, the other day, and got some Georgia Arms ammunition that we're going to try out probably later this afternoon. Target ammo, looks like remanufactured ammo, really cheap, 28 cents a round or something like that, which is pretty nice for 9mm these days. Okay, enough about that. Looking forward to your comments and suggestions and ideas about the FNS 9. I love the pistol. It's I think becoming my full-size carry gun, no problem. Thanks for watching. Click subscribe if you're so inclined, and love to hear from you. Hey, I do have a Google Plus page. If you guys want to jump on there and poke fun at me, feel free. I do occasionally go into diatribes there if you care about that kind of thing. All right, see you later.